Transphobes Taking L's is a Gimmick account best known for exposing and calling out individuals who had made wild, incredibly slanderous, or otherwise bigoted statements in regards to individuals or communities surrounding the trans umbrella. Obviously, this account was very popular, and for quite a while, me and multiple other people I knew followed this account because it didn't really seem like that bad of a page and it seemed to have a genuinely noble cause. The problem is, when you dig deeper into the individuals behind this page, you notice very quickly that the people who made this page aren't as noble as you might hope. The first of which is an individual going by the name Zrcalo, an individual whose history dates back to the year 2009, when they created a fur affinity page and created within this page multiple art pieces of animals involved in gory acts. These art pieces were graphic and also obviously very disgusting. But this alone wouldn't be enough to make a valid argument as to why this individual is genuinely fucking disgusting in modern day. Though, that isn't the only thing they did on this account. During their time on Fur Affinity, Zrcalo was documented making multiple controversial statements. Those statements including the ones you see on screen, which for obvious reasons I cannot read, but I think from reading them, you get a clear implication of what they were implying they wanted to do with their boyfriend, and why this behavior is obviously not acceptable. I think from there, we could already argue this individual is one that should be talked about, and should be investigated a little further, as although these screenshots by themselves don't necessarily mean this person has done anything, just like their guides on how to taxidermy animals, and their YouTube videos involving severed body parts from animals created into puppets, or experimented on for a class project, if you look at these actions and aren't questioning who's behind them and whatever acts they get involved in their free time, I think there's a problem there. But before we look specifically into Zrcalo's history and the acts they've been involved in modern day, we also need to take a look at one of the other actors on this account and their history. Specifically, an individual known colloquially as SharkMod on the Transphobes Posting L's account. You see, SharkMod is an individual who also ran the Transphobes Posting L's account, and on October 29th, 2022, they would produce a thread titled "About this account, what I do and who I am." Within this thread, they would say something you and I should both be disgusted by. They admit that they are a quote anti-contact zoo. They say they have never and will never harm an animal, but that they are 100% interested in animals. And obviously when reading this, a lot of people came to the quick decision that this person should not be involved with the Transphobes account and should not be associated with the brand in any way. And before I continue further, I think it needs to be said that just because Zrcalo and SharkMod are both incredibly vile individuals, that does not mean trans people or people who run accounts like this are disgusting individuals as well. People like this do not represent the trans community, and I know bigots will use them and target them as a specific example to try and inaccurately reflect the trans umbrella and make trans people as a consequence look worse. These individuals and their actions are their own. They do not reflect the rest of the community. With that being said, as I mentioned, after this was exposed, many people would come to the conclusion that this person shouldn't be involved with the Transphobes Posting L's account. Everyone but the people running the account, it would appear. As after this post would come out, the Transphobes Posting L's account would very quickly attempt to do whatever they could to avoid associating themselves with these claims, saying, "We don't have any zoos on our team, by the way," contrary to what the rumors say. This post was made by an unnamed mod, and obviously, it's more sus than a character from Among Us. Following this, they would go on to block multiple individuals and hide the comments from multiple people that would say, "Get Shark off the team then," or other similar comments in regards to SharkMod and their previously admitted behaviors. Very soon after, this account would take a massive nosedive. Suddenly, all of their following would come to a halt and they would start losing thousands of followers a day. Eventually, Zrcalo, also known as AxeMod on the account, would come out saying that they had also been involved in some questionable activity in the past, being involved with some zoo actors and having a history of questionable activity themselves. Activity I haven't even discussed in this video, but is discussed in Lance's video. Following their admission of this previous activity, they would also state that SharkMod had officially been removed from the team following what they had admitted. And now, at this point, people like Lanza started to come to the realization that SharkMod was actually someone they'd worked with in the past, in regards to the Hypnotist Sappho story. And this is where suddenly, this situation becomes even more wild. SharkMod would go on a Twitter space where they would talk about some things, and while on this space, Lanza would come to join, and in this space, call out both Zrcalo and SharkMod for many of their questionable acts. So let's start with what Lanza had to say about SharkMod.
That's right, my leaker, someone who I worked with, is a zoo. After getting over my initial shock, I started to bully him because I have no respect for zoophiles, and so he would wipe our Telegram chat because the app lets people clear DMs on both sides. He then, for what God knows what reason, started up a Twitter space, and so I joined in to listen to see what was going on. After hearing him deadass say this,
I do take precautions. I don't leave myself alone with an animal. I don't do that. I make sure I'm with someone, you know, as a precaution.
I knew I had to get myself back in all this, because there's no way in hell I'm gonna let people spew this bullshit around me, and so I got in and promptly started going at it.
Me personally, even though they claim to be anti-contact, I wouldn't trust them around an animal anyways.
And that's fine.
Exactly, bro.
I'm totally fine. I'm totally fine with that statement.
Dog, how are you fine with that? That means you're in the head.
Okay. Is this gonna be your rhetoric against me? That
I mean, shit, it's working pretty well, so yeah. I mean, what the like what? Ooh, I'm epically owning you or whatever. You're a zoophile, bro.
Yeah,
Okay.
Like, listen.
I feel like this.
Just please, get help, bro.
I mean,
Like, I don't know what else to say. You're acting like it's not a big deal. Like, oh, well, you know, it's just a troll or whatever, bro. Oh, no, they're just being mean, bro. Or they're being rude to me, bro. You know, I may be a zoophile, but at least I'm not rude. That's the kind of shit I'm getting from you, bro.
And honestly, I pretty much completely agree with what Lanza's saying here. This isn't something they should be proud of, and the fact they're willingly admitting that they wouldn't trust themselves in a room with an animal should obviously be cause for concern. When someone says something like that, we shouldn't play it off as if it isn't serious and act as if people should be treated better because they're not being rude about it. This is obviously something that isn't okay, and they should seek genuine help for what's wrong with them. But as I mentioned earlier, the two stories from this video cross paths in a very catastrophic way, with Lanza soon realizing that one of the people within this call defending Shark was Zrcalo. And upon making that realization and digging a little deeper into Calo, Lanza would rejoin the call and bring up some leaked screenshots of things Zrcalo had said in the past. Very damnable, disturbing things they'd said about things they wanted to do with animals.
Lo and behold, I found something that don't exactly paint him in a very good light, and that's saying something given all we've gone over thus far. A Google Doc will come out showing that Calo, our owner of a Telegram channel that housed zoophiles so he can hunt them down, was a zoophile himself. Not shocking, but still disgusting. After skimming through the doc, I grabbed screenshots I wanted to talk about and rejoined the Twitter space later knowing I'd be let back in eventually because I wasn't rude to him earlier. Someone else managed to get ahead of me, and Calo's response to them exposing him live in the call was surely something to behold.
And then the seductive...
Can you send me that?
Pardon?
Can you send me this? Because I've not seen that.
Shit, I don't know how to... I'm on... I can send you a Google Drive, but then I have to go to my Twitter. Can you, like, DM me on Twitter? And I can do it on my computer?
Yeah, because I have not seen those logs. Oh, okay. Yeah, the Google Drive, where is it in this? What is this? Holy mother of...
The whole convo would basically be Calo trying to be sneaky about it and imply their ex, Oliver, who was the one who initially exposed Naya Okami was dating Sappho, was faking some but not all the DMs, and after listening to all this manipulation, mental gymnastics, and lies, I was finally able to get back in the call and bully him like he deserves to be.
And I'm going to go ahead and read a couple of things that, really spicing up the mood going on here. One of the things is that Carla has said, now, though, I only date people who know I'm a zoo. Carla. What?
We've already discussed that.
No, but there's more.
We've already discussed.
No, but there's more.
Yeah, I know there's more. So
it.
I want you to add, I want to ask you, where do I go from here?
I don't know.
If I have already denounced
this doesn't make you look very good. I only date people who know I'm a zoo. That was my mistake the other times. Wow.
So where do you want me to go from here?
For me, it's not really about the personality. It's about the animal. I can't really describe it past that.
Yeah, no, I don't like it.
Why'd you type it then?
I hate it.
You're trying to like say, oh, where do I go from here when I'm reading all this shit that's dirt on you? I know you're just trying to like fast forward it. What else?
No, no. Okay, let's go back because evidently you were not listening.
Obviously, I talked to many zoos on both of my accounts. It depends on how deep you want to dive. Both accounts, huh? Interesting.
You know what? No, I don't. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep fighting.
I have a folder, but it's just full of animals. Holy shit!
Already addressed that.
What? Right now,
right,
Carlo has said a
Keep
lot of
reading.
really weird shit, and then they're trying to interrupt me while I'm reading it so they could defend themselves and be like, I don't remember sending that. What? Like, come on, man, really? This is from you, bro. You're saying the person who sent it is up? I don't care if they're up or not. I don't really care if you hate them or not. This shit that was sent is still up. That what you said. They said some weird shit too, but I don't care about that person. I care about you.
Now, I know that sounds bad.
What? No, alright.
But listen, guys, it's not true, really. You see, Cal actually isn't a zooph, and you see, the reason is, on August 5th, Cal would DM someone saying, I don't think I'm a zoo anymore. I just lost interest and forgot I like anime chicks. Which you know is the most incredibly well-defined defense, and makes perfect logical sense in the situation, of course. And just to make sure everyone was really confident that they weren't lying here, that this was the truth, they would also go on to state, when my house set on fire, my first reaction was to grab my laptop and hard drives, not my cats. Never even thought about the neighbors. Which is just the most strong defense you've ever seen to disprove that they could be possibly a zoo or attracted or involved with animals in any way. Of course, that's what's everyone getting all uppity about, you know? It makes perfect sense. If you couldn't tell, I'm sick of the bullshit of people like these, and frankly, I don't care to read their excuses anymore. With that being said, this video has been in the works for quite a while, but I'm happy to say I'm on the production grind again. Videos will be coming back consistently, so I think that's good news. I also have some bigger projects coming up soon, some features in other people's videos here or there, so I think you'll find that interesting. If you're new to the channel, obviously make sure to click the subscribe button down below. It's white, not red now anymore. Feel free to check out my other social media linked in the description down below. As always, I'm your host, HarleyTBS, and I'll see you friends, parasocial relationship enabled, later. Peace.
Says she wanna rock with a nigga like me. I'm a stylish guy. Spend a little guap with a nigga like me. We can catch a fly. Says she wanna rock with a nigga like me.